That's how it's gonna be, a little test tube.
It's most likely to be a highly infectious virus.
Guy steps out of Times Square station, smashes it on the sidewalk.
Welcome to Zero Dent Review, a show dedicated to handcrafted studies of genre fiction. I'm author DC McNeil, and I'm joined, as always, by Patrick Laverne, an autocratic leader looking to instrumentalize the Bible for his own ends.
It's not a book, it's a weapon!
It's a weapon! It's a weapon! And as always, J.M. Anderson, an old man on the road, easy pickings for motorcycle gangs.
Them's fighting words. I need to go get my sword. I love that his main weapon was, like, basically a sword.
Just the sickest machete you've ever seen. Is this...
Yeah. That hit hard for me.
Did Kojima just watch this film and go, all right, I'm going to make Death Stranding? Is that what happened? Kind of feels like that's what happened.
Yeah. Yeah, it is kind of Kojima-esque.
Yeah, I can't make it...
In that it's fucking ridiculous.
In that it's insane. Welcome back to our continued study of the post-apocalypse genre, brought to you by the Zero Net Patreon subscribers who help make the shows and articles that shape Zero Indent. Today we are talking, of course, about 2010's Book of Eli, directed by the Hughes brothers, written by Gary Whitta. Shockingly, as always, disclaimers for suicide, murder, and rape. This is still the post-apocalypse, y'all. It's dark. Hey, this is the coolest film. This is just...
It's so cool.
End to end, some of the coolest, like... What if we just did the baddest, coolest thing you can put on cinema, scene by scene? And can I tell you, it rules. Yeah, Jan, this is your first viewing experience. What did you think?
Okay, so I am disappointed that I was not, this came out a while ago, so I was not able through the course of those years to avoid the spoilers, so I already knew, like, the main twists going into it, unfortunately. I didn't know exactly, like, how they would play out or anything. So that was disappointing. I actually am much colder on it than you would have ever anticipated.
Oh, interesting.
I feel like I might be the like I would normally be filling your normal role where I'm like, this just wasn't good. But ironically, I think I'm being, like, overly picky because I'm too influenced by McCarthy, and I'm like, this isn't as good. Like, The Road was so much better.
Oh yeah, it's not.
Like,
I want to be clear. I'm not saying this film is good. I'm just saying I had a great time. That sometimes you just feel like McDonald's. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not good for you. You know it's giving you cancer, but, like, I don't know. Sometimes that's what you want. Yeah. So, like, yeah. I agree. I don't think it's a good film. I had a great time though.
Yeah, for whatever reason, this should be the type of film that I've always been able to just enjoy and turn off my brain, and for some reason I could not turn off my brain during this, and I guess I have to blame you.
Yeah, it's because of the show.
You keep teaching me to, yeah.
Yeah.
But very different from The Road, the film, which we'll talk about during our next recording. But I thought the
Patreon.com/Zero-Indent. If you want to hear us talk about that.
The way that they both styled the apocalypse just being so different.
Yes.
I think was, like, the most interesting bit to me, more than, like, the action was cool, but that's not really why I was watching it. Which is so anti-me.
Well, I just think that you've come around to the dark side. Part of what I think is happening is, like, and we'll get to it when we talk a little bit about, like, the Hughes brothers and the decisions made around making this film. But one of the things that, like, I think can't go unsaid just at the top here is, like, the presence of blackness here is doing a lot stylistically from a directorial perspective that I think completely changes the priorities. And in hindsight, the more I think about the Road film, the more it is. The Road film is chasing like, I don't want to say chasing Tolkien, but it's chasing Tolkien, right? This is just post Rings, Vigo. This to me is like, I don't know what I would point at as, like, a thing it's trying to, like, replicate, but it's almost like closer to like an American Pimp or something like that, or Dead Presidents, as opposed to a Tolkien. Like they're completely different aesthetic genres, even though the films are both set in the same type of like apocalypse. If that makes sense.
I mean,
The closest that it feels to me is, yeah, he carried it really well. I was gonna say it feels kind of like, and you're gonna correct me immediately when I say this feels like an Arthurian legend to me, because it's not like directly, but more so in the like these legendary characters have this like holy mission, blah blah blah. You know, like all of those pieces feel much more like that than a typical like action. You know.
Okay. Gonna let it slide for now. Pat, what did you think?
I know. I feel that it's like, you know, it's mythological in like it's a crazy fucking John Wick, Mad Max like Bible myth. Yeah, this film is awesome. Like it's just dripping with this 2000s style. I mean, look, this is gonna sound insane, but I've like in the last week I discovered Chris Brown, and I just like went through all his music videos, and as I was watching this, like fuck me, like it's of the time, like it's it's so good.
That's kind of why I said the thing about Blackness. Like it is definitely in this like MTV post like Ice Cube world. Yeah, it's fascinating. Truly interesting. As a piece of media that is like, it literally is just of its time and nothing else. And I always think things like that are interesting.
Yeah. And yeah, you're absolutely right. Like it's the road converted into junk food. Like I'm on a THC break right now, but as I was watching this, I was like, man, I wish I was a bit buzzed. Like this is the exact right type of film for that kind of mindset. Yeah, I don't know. I fucking I love this film. It's so cool. As it's not a fucking piece of absolute cinema, but yeah, man, it's great.
It's so funny you say the thing about John Wick too, because this one of the Hughes brothers, I think it's Albert Hughes, he goes on to do some directing in The Continental, that John Wick spinoff.
Okay.
So very.
Sorry, what?
Yeah.
Huh?
Wait, you don't know about this?
No, what's that?
What? So The Continental's like a 3-episode limited spin-off of John Wick. How do you not know about this?
Oh my goodness, I did not know. It's crazy. I didn't know that existed.
Yeah, it's bad.
Mel Gibson?
It's not good. I want to be clear. It's trying very hard, but the budget is just not there. But I had fun with it.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Something to consider. This is actually quite refreshing because I feel less insane because James the right way up. Before we get the summary, for those who, last episode he was upside down. He made the show very hard to not go crazy the whole time. 2 things I want to say before we get to the summary. How did y'all watch this? Did you watch this on like a streaming service?
Yeah, it's on Amazon in Australia.
Yeah, okay. So interesting. So I watched on my original DVD copy, because I'm that guy. I was a big DVD. I was a big. Hey, well, hang on a minute. Let's not go throwing hands, because you refuse to answer an accusation in the group chat because your apartment is so much more nerdy than mine.
Mine?
Yeah, and I truly blame your partner. Fair. To be fair, but like. It's just you'll have like anime shit everywhere, you know?
Hey, it's not anime shit. It's video game stuff. Oh, it just happens to look like anime.
Oh, so it's worse. Okay, cool.
No.
No, because
looking at my stack of amiibos right now.
Yeah, well, JM was like, "Is it bad that a grown man?" I'm like, "Nah, man. You don't even know. You don't know about what's going on in the Pat apartment." So yeah, I've had to do some validation for you, JM. And I got an opportunity to flame Pat on the podcast. So kind of everyone wins.
Yeah, what's the point of this? Is this just a drive-by?
Yeah, it's just a drive-by. Yeah. So I got to do it because I do it to JM all the time, and people are like, "Oh, you're always so nice to Pat." I'm like, well, he's harder to bully.
I'm just him.
He's just that guy. You know what I mean? He's him. The reason I bring up where you watch it is I watched it in the original DVD, and the mixing is terrible. Like the audio mixing.
Okay.
And I googled it, and yeah, they basically had to fix it when they put it on Blu-ray and streaming. For whatever reason, the digital version they ended up pressing to DVD is just like the dialogue is almost inaudible. It's very strange.
Well, the opening shot, like with the synth heavy music, like that shit was blaring, and I had to like turn that down a bit. But yeah.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, there were several times where the dialogue was difficult to parse, but also I'm like half deaf sometimes, so I wasn't sure if it was me or if that actually was the film.
I think it's stylistically supposed to be that, but it is rough. Like I don't think it's supposed to be that bad. I think it's probably closer to like a Dune style mix where when you see it in a cinema, the really quiet dialogue makes complete sense, but then if you watch it on like a TV home cinema setup, unless you've invested like $5,000 in like a really good sound setup, it just doesn't sound as like the quiet. This is an insane sentence. The quiet parts aren't the right type of quiet because they don't have as much dynamic range as they need.
And if they're designing it for that kind of system, the dialogue is primarily coming from the two center speakers, and then all of the surround sound stuff is coming from these other areas. So you've got the vocals coming at you from like now a combined direction with all of the other sound that should have been coming from all of these other places. So it's hitting your ear in a completely different way at home than it is when you're actually at the theater.
And this is why,
or if you have a surround sound setup.
Yes, and this is why this is the most inside baseball shit. But that's why when you go home and you watch a film on your TV setup, or you watch a TV show on your setup, and you've got a subwoofer, it's why all of the bass hits in modern sound mixing make your fucking house vibrate, because they're designed to be coming from multiple subwoofers, not just one. Anyway, it's a bit of fun. We discovered that during the last of Us.
Sorry. 1 second. How do I sound when I switch to hit this? Hello, hello, hello.
Better?
Much better.
Like, but am I quiet?
You sound perfect.
Okay, never mind. Sorry, I was on the wrong input. Sorry.
I literally asked you to check.
I know. I know.
I know, I'm
terrible.
The people don't understand that this show used to be really easy to produce, and we've just... The last year, we've all gone insane.
And you pick on me.
I know. It feels like we're all losing our minds. It's great. Okay. God, you sound so much better now. Okay. I'm way less worried about our audio. All right. Well, when you're ready, Pat, with your new delicious audio, could you please give us the summary of 2010's Book of Eli, directed by the Hughes brothers, written by Gary Whitta?
Pat, switch the inputs halfway through.
I will fucking kill you
both.
What's that? I'll just quit. You can do the show without me. That's fine. It's fine. I don't need to do this.
We open on a world gone to ash. A familiar setting, isn't it? A man lies in wait and kills a cat with the world's largest arrow. The man is nobody. He travels across the wasteland of the road. Wait, no, of America. This is legally distinct. He comes upon a house where he finds a dead man whom he steals boots from, which Death Stranding has taught us is a going concern. That's true. He camps out in the house that night and listens to music on an original iPod while he sharpens his machete. This is the coolest, baddest motherfucker to ever live, ladies and gentlemen. He pulls out a locked book and reads it. He's ambushed by bandits and absolutely wastes them, after which he seems to offer a prayer. After which he witnesses a woman be raped and killed by bikers and does not intervene. He comes to a settlement where Carnegie, a benevolent-ish leader, is sending his road crews in search of a particular book. The same road crew who we just saw assault and kill a woman. He ends up applying the leader's face to the bar, resulting in a potential brawl wherein our protagonist kills everyone right until Solara intervenes. Carnegie offers our protagonist a job working for him, but he turns it down. He has somewhere to be in the West. And here is Tolkien again. The West re-emerges. Remerges isn't the word.
Shh, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Carnegie sends Solara to have sex with our protagonist. He turns her down. The next morning, Carnegie stops our protagonist, demands the book. Our boy says no and seems to dance between bullets, slaying most of the mercenaries without taking a hit. Solara follows our protagonist and he ditches her in short order. But when she's attacked by bandits, our protagonist kills them with his bow and the pair team up. While camping in a decayed nuclear facility, our protagonist recites a verse from the Bible. He says that, like the Blues Brothers, he is on a mission from God to take the book out west. Eli and Solara end up holding up with a pair of cannibals as Carnegie's men arrive. A gunfight ensues. Our guys are captured. Eli gives the book over and Carnegie shoots him. Solara attacks the driver as they abduct her, and she goes back for Eli. They drive west together. Eli and Solara paddle a boat to Alcatraz, where they deliver the King James Bible. Sort of. The Bible is in Eli's head. He's memorized the book. And indeed, the copy with Carnegie is in Braille because Eli is blind. The irony is delightful. Ultimately, Carnegie's ambition is his end, and Eli dies/is a martyr. And Solara takes up the mantle and Eli's blade and heads home.
It's a lot of plot for a action film, you know? There's a lot going on.
Yes, I suppose there is. One thing stands out to me. Is Eli blind? I missed that.
Yeah. So, JM, you want to check? Because I'm very confident here. There's a shot toward the end where it like zooms in on his eyes and they're like kind of foggy. And we know that the Flash, which is the end of the world event, blinded a bunch of people because Eli asks the woman that Carnegie has, his partner/captive, if she was blind because of the Flash. And she's like, no, I was born this way, implying that Eli was made blind because of the Flash, potentially. Is that right?
Answering that second part of the question, I think that he would have been blind prior to it because the only two people who know how to read Braille were him and the woman who was also old enough to have learned Braille before the world ended. So my assumption is that it was not the Flash, that he was either born or blinded way before early enough to have learned Braille, because unless it was a divine gift of knowledge, he would have no way of learning Braille after being blinded. End of statement. As to whether or not he actually is, that is one of my like biggest hurdles with being taken out of the show, because I firmly believe that the directors and the writers intended for him to be blind, but they tried to film it so that it would be so much of a twist that he ends up just acting like he can see. And it does not work, in my opinion. So I think that in order for the movie to make sense to me, he has to be a limited sight person, because you'd see him doing stuff where you know he can't fully see, but also he can see some stuff. Like the way that he snatches guns out of people's hands, you gotta be able to see a foot in front of you to know exactly what elevation the gun is at to be able to grab it. Stuff like that. So either he has like full echolocation, like Daredevil, he's got full, whatever magic powers granted from the divine, or he could partially see. And I'm going with partially see, because the way that he acts a lot of the stuff, he looks like he's looking at things.
Yeah, I was thinking of the comparison of the way that Denzel is here and the way that Charlie Cox is as Matt Murdock, and the night and day adjustments that Charlie Cox makes constantly to portray that character. This feels far closer to. I've written in my notes. No one told Denzel he was blind. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, it really
Yeah.
doesn't. It reminds me. This whole film is you know that scene in season 3 where Matt breaks into the hotel and he pretends to be a guy who can see, and he's doing his
That's
best
such a good scene.
cosplay of being a guy who knows how to see. That feels to me Denzel this whole film, where it's like he kind of seems to know that he's blind, but he seems unable to convincingly balance. Yeah, to your point, JM, like the reveal and the consistency of the film. And there are just multiple times where Denzel just looks at someone.
Yeah, well, I've seen this film twice, and that's the first time I've ever considered that he's blind.
Yeah,
That's
it's just no. There's
interesting.
he completely no-sells this the whole time, right up until the end. Which, maybe, if we're being generous, and I don't want to be generous because it's just a fun junk food film, but like, if we're being generous, Eli, if we assume his name is Eli because it's on his backpack, and for clarity's sake, we will. If you consider the world he's in, it would make logical sense for Eli to no-sell everyone on the fact that he can see. Because the second they think he's blind, they might see him as much easier to victimize, much easier to attack. Like, it benefits him that everyone around him thinks he can see. Obviously, the mechanics of that don't really make sense, but that is also another aspect I did think about.
Now, as a mild defense, one of my friends, his younger sister, is functionally blind. Like, all she could see is kind of like a haze of light, and like if someone walks in front, like maybe a shadow, but that's kind of it. But you wouldn't know that she was blind unless you knew that she was blind. So the idea that he can look at someone when they're talking, that's perfectly normal for blind people to kind of like, not all, that's perfectly normal for some people who are blind to actually look at you and you would have difficulty telling that they were blind. So a lot of the stuff that he does did land as like, oh, this is realistic to me. And actually one of the best examples is the first house that he goes in, and he finds the dude who hung himself in the closet, and he opens the door and there's zero reaction. Like, that's a jump scare. Like, any character would have that. And he doesn't look up to see the dude's face. And in retrospect, he's smelling the decay, right? And then he knows that there's a body there, and then he reaches out and runs his hand down the body to find where the boots are so he could steal the boots. So like, there's some stuff that makes absolute sense the way that he played it. And then, like you said, other times it's like they got to keep this surprise secret, and he'll just like point to a part on the battery that he could know. There's no way he could, talk to the dude and say like, take this off,
Yeah, and now I'm thinking about all of the hints, like how in that first confrontation he walks back into the darkness because he doesn't need to see, but the other guys do.
It's so cool.
Like it all.
It's so cool. It's so cool. He takes the guy's boots. He's listening to music on his iPod, which I noted because last time we talked a little bit about like technology and like setting in the road. And it's kind of McCarthy's sort of refusal to date the novel in any type of way by including particular like eras of technology. But here it's like Eli has an original iPod, which I still have my dad's one of these somewhere. It still works. They were fucking indestructible, so I'm not surprised it lasted the end of the world.
Are we positive that is what that is?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. Because there was one time when he's at a crossroads and he's trying to figure out which way to go, and he either like puts in an earbud or he cocks his head to the side and holds up the device. And so I'm thinking, oh, that's one of those assisted readers, and it's reading the sign to him.
Oh.
That's what
Well, I mean, he does act. The first thing he does with it is listen to music, so I don't know. I kind of assumed.
Yeah, but those first versions of iPods didn't have cameras, so that unless it's a different type of device.
I don't think that's what he was doing.
That's one.
With it, though.
Doesn't the shopkeeper say exactly what type of device it is when he hands it to him?
No, he's talking about the battery.
The battery.
Never mind.
Yeah. I So we can talk about the scene where he pulls it out and uses it. I didn't think that's what he was doing. I couldn't figure out what he was doing, but that scene made no sense to me, to be fair. I thought maybe he was using the back of the reflective plating to try and give himself like the reflection of where the sun was or something. I don't know. In order to orient himself so he could keep going west. I really don't know. It's a very odd scene.
He's just following the vibes, man.
He's just
That's
vibing.
what he's doing.
He's just vibing. But yeah, I thought it was interesting that he has the iPod. He uses the little KFC wet wipes to do a little shower, which I thought was fun.
Man, the product placement is crazy in this film,
Isn't it?
The Beats headphones, the
I know.
KFC wet wipes, and Beck was pointing this out, how all the sunglasses are pristine. Like everyone's wearing sunglasses and they all look like, super
Brand
cool.
new. Yeah. There's
yeah.
Gary Oldman is wearing the dopest pair of Ray-Bans.
I had that same thought. Yes, the lenses should have been scratched up. But what's Mila's character's name? Whatever her name is. She's got like a tape or something on one of the sides that's holding the band together because the arm had broken off at some point. So they made a little bit of effort to make them look not brand new, although the lenses should have been. They looked brand new. It was kind of like I wonder if it was like a paid advertisement type thing.
I think it must have been. I don't think this film gets made without crazy amounts of paid product placement, which is ironic given the film's kind of deployment of religion. But it's always fun. I did think to be F and to be B that this is a world where like the most important thing is that you A, can eat and have water and stuff, but B, that you have a working pair of sunglasses because you literally can't go outside without them. So it would be an object that you take particular care of, I guess. But yeah, we get that first night, he's listening to his iPod and it dies, and then the next day he's walking along and there's like a woman with a shopping cart and she's doing she's doing a random NPC encounter from the original Red Dead game where she's like, please help me, and then you get ambushed by a bunch of bandits. And it's so cool. Denzel Washington is the coolest guy. This dude's like, give me what's in your bag, give me all your stuff, and the guy goes to grab him, and Denzel like looks at him and he goes, touch me again with that hand and you'll lose it. And the guy's like, like, hey, fucking whatever. And then he goes to grab him again and Denzel just like whips out the machete and cuts this guy's fucking hand off, and everyone's like freaking out. And then he goes, the leader's like, what are you guys waiting for? Kiss him. And Eli like looks to the camera and he goes, he's in shock. I think he meant kill him. And then he steps into the shadows of the overpass and we get the fight silhouette from within the overpass. It's so fucking cool. It's so sick.
It's cool.
Yeah.
That kiss him thing was so silly though.
It's so
It made
silly.
me laugh.
Yeah, it's so good. This film rules. And they do this like little ramp of slow motion as he fights a guy with a chainsaw. Oh, it's just it's very cool. It's
very video gamey.
Yeah, this whole film is a video game. It's like, don't get me wrong, it's stupid, but I had so much fun with this fight. Yeah.
That was also the first he's blind clue, which was that he smelled, he literally smelled the bad guys, and that's how he knew that it was in an ambush.
True. Yeah, and then the leader's like, man, what does that say about our hygiene? Yeah, this film starts funny and then just refuses to have any humor later on, when things get dark. Except for maybe the cannibals. I thought they were pretty funny. But yeah, so interestingly, I'm curious what you thought of the action, JM, because you're kind of a resident action guy.
I adored it, aside from that I kept coming back to this has to be Daredevil, because he cannot be doing this stuff unless he's able to see in some fashion. And he was even doing some of the like behind the back Jedi stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I would have to interpret it as he has been given a divine gift of fighting. And actually, I guess maybe I have to go back and stick more to my Arthurian thing if because he always fights with the machete. It's sometimes he'll use a gun, but it's much more he defaults to the machete. So if that's Excalibur, then that's his that's his divine power. So that's why he always fights with it, and he's able to do stuff that a blind person could not.
Mm-hmm.
It's it's funny you mentioned Jedi because I thought when he cuts off the guy's hand, that was very Jedi-like.
Yeah, that's
The instant sort of like
Obi-Wan in the bar where the guy's like,
yeah,
and he just like cuts the dude's hand, and that like, I love that original 77 version where it's like, yeah, lightsabers don't cauterize shit. He just cut that guy's hand fully off, just blood on the floor.
Okay, there's actually an explanation for that, and I'm just gonna go into some details now.
Yeah, of course there is. Of course there fucking is. Wait, of why it doesn't cauterize there?
Well, they hadn't invented that yet.
No, I know phenomenal time is why that's the case. I thought you meant in universe.
I'm pretty sure that what they wrote is that this species of alien just bleeds extra.
They just have really thin blood.
He took an ibuprofen right before that. You know what I mean? God, Star Wars is so dumb.
He was that particular alien was on alien peptides.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a very cool fight. It's a bit dumb. Denzel takes some of their stuff and he takes a lighter or something, and thank God he does because he's able to use that later to barter to get his little iPod recharged. And what I love,
he leaves that hopeless woman behind.
I know.
It's like, girl, like take up some other job, please. The town's right down the road. Like,
yeah, can I come with you? No. Oh,
yeah,
that was quick. It's like, well, and I think it's an interesting subversion because you would expect that if, in a typical like fantasy style version of this writing, of course he would help the innocent woman. You know what I mean? But this isn't that. This is like Mad Max vibes. This isn't John Marston where he like kills all the bad guys and then like takes the woman back to town because he knows she's a victim or whatever. This is just like, no, like I'm going. See ya.
Well, that same beat happens multiple times, so this is just the first. He's on his holy mission, and he has to do it alone in his eyes.
Yeah, well, and that ends up being his arc, right? Is he has to realize like it's all well and good to carry this book, but if he doesn't live by the principles of the book, then like what's the point?
What's his little mantra that he keeps repeating?
His little mantra.
He's like, I must
stay the path. I think.
Yeah, I must. Well, he says, I must not stray from the path. I can't remember. Yeah. I feel like he. Yeah, I can't remember. Anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's right after that where he comes upon the like an old man and an old woman who are like walking with a shopping cart, and I was like, this is just they keep doing the road stuff. And then, yeah, they get these motorbike gang guys turn up and they kill the man instantly, and then they presumably sexually assault the woman and then kill her. And yeah, he like crouches down and he's like, yes, don't stay on the path, like it's not your concern type thing. He just kind of lets this happen.
Yeah, that's it. Stay on the path, it's not your concern. Yeah, that's what he says.
Yeah. Dark stuff.
I was also wondering if there might be some kind of symbolism with the water, because he asks where the first, after he kills all the guys, and then the woman is there, and he says, "Where's your water?" And she tries to lie, and then it's in the cart, and he smells it, and then leaves it with her. And considering how pivotal like holy water is in Christianity, that made me wonder if that was supposed to be symbolism of something. It could just very obviously be that the water is dirty and it's giving all of them horrible side effects and no one should drink it, but then also art.
Yeah. Well, the film ends with them paddling a boat across a huge body of water, right? Like, I don't think that you can... I think it's probably there. I'm just not sure that it has much of an output. He does Yeah, it's interesting. He does smell the water, right? Like that's how he decides that he doesn't want to drink it or take it with him. And that this Carnegie guy is like hoarding the water, and that this is like a means of expansion. I'm sure it's not up to date on my Bible anymore, so like I couldn't tell you if this is like a reference to Eli from the Bible or not, but it does feel pregnant with meaning, even if maybe it doesn't really go anywhere.
I wrote how like in the first like 20 minutes, like I was like, I can see why we picked this movie right after The Road, because like yeah, man, so much DNA from The Road. Like yeah, the shopping carts. I mean, you know, he's literally on a road, but like, I mean, they mentioned cannibals like right from the get go. Yeah, man.
The Mad Max
Like,
stuff is here as well. Like,
yeah.
My brain kept trying to tie those two worlds together, and I kept thinking that The Road is this same universe, but 50 years later.
I did have that thought as well. It does feel like The Road fan fiction, where you put in your coolest OC of all time. You know what I mean? When they were like, they're like, yeah, and he can dodge bullets, and he has a really cool sword, and he's a cool coat, and everyone wears sunglasses.
And he brings justice to this wasteland.
And it is a bit doofy, but yeah, it does kind of feel like The Road fan fiction, and I love it for that. And then when he walks into town, and they just like emphasize the point that he's like the baddest motherfucker to ever live, where like he's like walking into the town, and it's like doing these ramp cuts of all the things he's noticing, and everyone's like looking at him and avoiding him a little bit. No one wants to like catch his attention, and then he goes into the shop, and the guy like pulls a shotgun on him, and he's like, "You're an outlander or whatever." And then Denzel disarms the guy, and then hands him a shotgun back to be like, "Yo, I'm cool, right? Just be chill." And apparently Denzel did almost all of the action himself. He trained for like 3 months or something, with a Filipino martial arts specialist. This is like mostly Denzel.
Yeah, well, it's probably why he went on to do The Equalizer, right? He does similar things in that of like disarming people. I remember.
Yeah, and it's this specifically is like one of those. Obviously, like it's a Filipino art style, and like the Filipino culture is very, very religious, and this particular fighting style is arnis, which comes from the Old Spanish of arma, which is specifically derived around it's like a defensive fighting style. So it's like supposed to be defensive, not for attacking, which makes sense because it's like he's like a servant of God or whatever, so he's not going out and killing dudes, but he's defending himself type stuff. So a fitting choice stylistically, I think, even if it doesn't really come through too much in the picture. But yeah, he just I've got a dot point here which just reads, "Hey, is this Gary Oldman?" I forgot he was in this.
I remembered, but my actor recognition was like, oh my god, it's Ray Stevenson, because I just finished the HBO's Rome, and he's one of the main characters in that show.
Oh,
I love, and he passed away like last year or the year before.
God damn.
Because the last thing he did was that Star Wars, the Ahsoka show.
That's right. Yeah, I remember that because they were hemming and hawing about what to do with the second season of that because he was the main bad guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love seeing him.
He's having the time of his life in this film. He's doing a weird southern accent that's like kind of Chicago-ish. He names himself after Andrew Carnegie, which I thought was super interesting. And yeah, his vibe is like he's like a Julius Caesar, Don Juan type character. Like he's doing a very weird affectation. I don't know.
I mean, so is Gary Oldman. Like, there's a few British actors doing accents in this film. There's him, Gary Oldman, and then there's one more. I can't remember who it was.
Doing a British accent. Yeah.
Oh wait.
It's just interesting.
But anyway,
Was it,
Gary Oldman's accent was Michael Gambon. That's the other one.
Oh, at the very end. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, Gary Oldman's accent was like he kept dipping into like Southern American accent and then like kind of going back. I thought like into sort of generic American accent.
I think it's kind of fun because it's all an affectation, right? Like I think that was sort of what
Yeah,
he was
yeah,
shooting for.
Yeah.
yeah, because that's assuming that all of that was intentional and not just like the actor screwing up. But that's him going on and he's trying to practice what a preacher sounds like.
Yes.
So that's why he's trying to do that whole Southern.
100%. Yeah.
Mm.
And you can read that kind of through the like the blaxploitation lens of him trying to take this this piece of like authentic religion and like kind of draft it into service of his kind of little empire that he's trying to build, you know. It's hard to explain like his physical mannerisms as well. He's doing a lot of like he's flapping his arms a lot. He's moving about a ton. Like, he's very physical in this in a way that I don't think we really saw again until Slow Horses, really, where like he does a lot with his body in this film. You know, he's constantly sort of stomping around and lurching up to people and stuff like that. He comes across as quite like almost immediately predatory when we first meet him.
Well, I was gonna say they really grossed him up in the makeup department. I feel like really slimed him up. Yeah,
He's real slimy. That scene where he's where the blind woman is like shaving him or whatever, or she's sitting there and someone else is shaving him, and he's just like leering at this woman. It's so unpleasant.
That was another. Wasn't the woman who was shaving him blind as well?
I don't remember.
Yes.
But hang on. There's only
his like his girl Claudia, and then her like handmaiden or whatever is also another blind woman. It seems. Yeah.
Was she? Oh, I didn't pick up on that at all. Interesting.
Maybe.
I'm pretty sure when she was shaving, she was kind of like doing it by touch, and her eyes were like straight ahead. And then when she's walking out of the room, she's like touching the back of a chair in that stereotypical "I'm a blind person" kind of way.
Okay.
So I've been wondering, like, I don't know what the symbolism is supposed to be there of, well, I guess he's surrounding himself by blind people, and it's the whole thing is a cult, so I guess there's symbolism there.
Yeah, and it's there's a thing that's being done with like innocence and like it's something there. I can't quite put it all together, but yeah, there's something biblical happening with like sight and blindness and like truth. Like if you think about like Saul on the road to Damascus and all that stuff, and that like the thing that ends the world is the thing that makes people blind. It's all there. I can't quite put it together, but I can see the pieces, you know.
He might intentionally be. You never get a sense of how much he knew his Bible in the before times. It kind of sounds like he like went to church a few times, but wasn't really like a part of it. He never quotes anything. But it's almost like he remembers that blindness was a part of it, and that Jesus healing blind people was a part of it. So by surrounding himself with these blind women, he's trying to equate himself to some of that lore.
Yeah.
He's setting himself up for when he does get the Bible, which explicitly has themes like that.
That's interesting. Yeah, I could see that. I love also that when he sends the bikers come back in the first scene that he's in, and they like dump a bunch of books, and one of them's just like the Da Vinci Code, and I was like, oh my god, it's 2010, truly.
Yeah, I feel like there were a few like sort of noteworthy books there. I didn't.
There was an Oprah Winfrey.
Yeah. God. Very of the era. It's now if this film was made today, one of the books would have been The Road for sure. They couldn't resist.
Yeah.
That would be what would happen if it was made now. And then Eli goes into the
One
bar.
of the bits. I think it's before he gets to the bar. One of the bits of world building that I loved was that they show the big bad guy shaving multiple times, and they show him using the shampoo to wash his woman's hair.
Mm-hmm.
And so you know that water is the ultimate resource here, and he's wasting it. So, that's beautifully done to show the amount of power that he has.
Yes. And that he uses the they've developed like a punch card system for access to water as well that he seems to be in control of, which I thought was really clever, like a nice little detail. But yeah, I've written down here, so he goes into the bar, and my note here just reads, the bartender calls him Outlander like he's a fucking NPC in a Bethesda game. Like, it's just like straight up from like Oblivion, like him walking in and being like, Outlander, you've come to my shop. Would you like to peruse my wares? So funny.
Yeah, the bar is a very Fallout style bar.
This whole game is just Fallout 2. This whole film is just Fallout 2. Because also the economics make no fucking sense to me. I can't track what anything is worth and how the bartering is occurring. And like, okay, so he trades scarf and gloves for a single flask of water. And then he trades a lighter for a charge of a battery. But surely the lighter's worth more than the... Like, I couldn't figure it out. And that's very Fallout 2 to me, where it's just like completely arbitrary.
No, it was he traded the little wipelets from KFC. They were the main thing because the dude already had a bunch of lighters, but it was like 3 of the little towelette things and the lighter, and that was equal to the charge. But also, that's the thing with barters. Like, everyone can just come up with whatever you want because there's no value anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, he says he has a bunch of lighters, but
does he? Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, property's not real, as we all know, so you can just kind of do what you want. This is the real, like, everything does just have a use value, and exchange value stops making sense when money goes away. Maybe property isn't real. Maybe Marx was onto something. But I do enjoy that the wet wipes, to Pat's point about product placement, they really make sure you see them again for a good 2 to 3 seconds. And then he even goes like, oh yeah, like, remember these finger licking good? I'm like, Denzel, brother. And can I tell you, it made me want KFC. I hate capitalism.
Yeah, it's same, honestly.
I'm thinking about it. I'm like, maybe I get KFC for lunch. I don't know. Like, I hate what this world has made us. Just, you know what I mean?
That's really, really funny as the American that I had the opposite reaction. Where I was like, oh yeah, that stuff is so greasy and disgusting that you need a special little towel to clean yourself. I don't think I want that.
There's healthy-ish KFC here. Like,
you barely could complete that sentence.
That was me in real time, quickly bringing up the KFC menu and being like, wait, do they even do anything healthy? The Twister wrap is what am I doing? Why am I going to bat for KFC? I've had KFC.
The real question is what kind of burgers do they have? That's the real question.
I'm not having this fucking argument with you again. Listen,
that's a deep cut.
I'm looking at the menu, okay? You get yourself a little popcorn chicken, okay? And you know what there's a boxed meal. There's a chicken menu. You know what one of the sub-headings is? Burgers. That's the category of the food. It's called a zinger burger. A crispy chicken burger.
And they're delicious.
I'm believing we're not giving them. They don't need no props. They don't need no free rides, Pat. But KFC, if you want to sponsor us, you know how to get to me. I'm just saying, they're called burgers.
That's true.
Yeah.
Did it just start heavily raining for you, David?
Did it start heavily raining? I can't hear it if it did.
It's really pouring down in Chermside right now.
Okay, that probably means
Yeah.
my laundry's about to get gone, but that's okay. Anyway, we don't have to have this argument about burgers again. I'm just saying Americans are the only ones that have this fucking hill that they want to die on about sandwiches versus burgers. The rest of the world's figure. When I was in Ireland, okay, I ordered a grilled chicken burger. Everyone else is on the same page except for you guys. So when I was in Singapore, I had a southern fried chicken burger. Well, it was an Asian fried chicken burger, and it was very good, but it was called a burger. Okay? So, Pat, in Japan, can you get a chicken burger? Or do they call them sandwiches?
For the record, I said one sentence.
I don't know.
And it got you triggered, and you haven't shut up
because
about
it gives me the shits. Because you and Rye tried to fucking gaslight me on that live stream, and everyone in the audience was agreeing with you. And I was like, literally eating. I was eating a burger. I was eating a chicken burger at the time. Anyway, whatever. It's fine. It doesn't matter.
No, they definitely are called burgers in Japan as well. Yeah.
Yeah, because you get a Moss burger, you get a chicken burger. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, there's literally Moss Burger. Yeah.
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 Maybe I want Moss burger. Anyway, we're just naming
You can't, bro.
now.
There ain't any more.
Oh, really? They're gone.
Yeah, they're gone.
Damn.
Yeah,
Okay.
I know. It's tragic.
That's R.I.P. to a real one. They were so good.
I know. Tell me about it.
Fuck. Now I'm hungry. Anyway, the pisses me off so much. Anyway, the water. Yeah. So they've got this punch card system, which is how you know that Carnegie is controlling access to water through some kind of like mechanism. The Eli's just minding his own business in the bar, and this guy, the cat doesn't like Eli, and it's the leader of the motorcycle gang who we just saw attack and kill these two people. And so Denzel very quickly dispatches this guy. He gets into this big fucking knockdown bar fight. He seems to kill like half of Carnegie's men in about 30 seconds. Like he just goes through a lot of guys.
Yeah.
It's cool. And then Solara stops him mid-fight. And I'm like, why did he do it just because she said to? That seems like off-brand for this guy.
I think she stopped him from killing the very last guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like her stopping him was pointless because everyone was dead. It cuts to a wide shot and like everyone is dead.
Yes.
So I'm like, why did you put that in there?
It's very funny. And yeah, it's for some reason Mila Kunis is here. And I went, huh? She's in this?
Yeah, that was pretty random.
I mean, she does a great, well, she doesn't do a lot, but she does a great job with what she has. But again, it's 2010. You know what I mean? Yeah, and she's sort of playing, so she's in the Station 11 parlance, she's a post-Pan, right? She's born after the end of the world?
Yeah.
That was something else that I had a big issue with of pulling me out of the film was the either the actual age of the different actors or just the perceived age of them, because like she and her mother, to me, they could have been sisters.
Mm-hmm.
And they kept talking like the mom was so much older, and I'm sitting there and with Eli, there's all this talk about him being so old, and I'm like, dude's like 30. What are you talking about? He's so old. Like the way that the ages were depicted did not at all match the dialogue for me.
Mm-hmm.
The actors are 20 years apart. I just looked it up.
Yeah, that's the thing that you gotta remember is like Denzel's he's just a good looking guy. He's aged super well.
Yeah, that's like I think that they needed makeup, aging makeup for the mom, for the bad guy because he's supposed to be older and he looks too young in my opinion. And for Eli, any of these old characters, the only one that actually looked old enough to have lived in the before time was Dumbledore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that wig is it's such a bad wig. Anyway, it's so bad. Yeah, it is weird. And the thing that I had written down about this was like, in particular regarding the ages and stuff like that, is it does something that the Roe does much more effectively in that book, which is it. You know that scene where they run into that old man and the man is like, "How old are you?" And he goes, "I'm 90." And he's like, "No, you're not." I think part of it also is like there's a deliberate confusion of age.
You're talking about Eli?
Very funny.
I said you're talking about Eli.
Very funny. Very funny. No, but like, you know, it's doing something here, which is that like when the clocks stop, time gets kind of tricky a little bit. You know, why would Eli be keeping a calendar? You know what I mean? Like he says he's been walking for 30 years, but it's like since the end of the world, but it's like, has it actually been 30 years or are we guessing, you know?
No, there was a different bit of dialogue where I think he was talking with her in the bedroom and she's like, have you really been walking for 30 years? And he's like, I forgot, but I know that it's been like 30 winters or something. He says like 30 and then a season or something like that. So he doesn't remember how long it's been. But I guess I'm more confused from like a filmmaking perspective of why they put so much effort into the script to focus on age and then don't visually depict the age in a way that sells the same message.
But another thing with that as well, like they make a thing about this, the Flash blinding everyone. There's a lot of people who are clearly over 30 and no one's blind except for a couple of people. So like, was this really that cataclysmic of an event? Like,
Yeah. I mean, it seems like maybe it was. Well, he says it's been 30 winters since the Flash. I really don't remember. And then later on, yeah, she says, you've been walking for 30 years. And he says, I really don't remember again. Like he repeats that line. But yeah, it is interesting, isn't it? And the way that's described is like, that they like tore the sky apart and the sun like came down and destroyed everybody, right?
yeah, it's a very poetic way of describing like nuclear Armageddon, it seems.
Yeah, tore a hole in the sky,
Yeah.
sun came down and burned everything and everybody. You were lucky to hole up and hide in a place like this or underground. Most weren't lucky. You know? So I guess if you if you were inside or you were lucky enough to be underground, you didn't lose your sight. But then also to your point, Jay, I'm like, if you were blinded by it, you probably got killed real quick, you know, early on by people that could see.
I think that the saying is if you see a nuclear explosion, then you're going to die, and it doesn't matter if it's, you know, the shock wave or the radiation or whatever. Like if you're in proximity of sight, then going blind is irrelevant because you're about to be gone anyway. But I also don't think in this instance that it's supposed to be nukes because they are like watch while they're walking and you will see multiple scenes of them passing like huge craters and there's nothing around. So I'm assuming that was where like something used to be and the bomb dropped and it just wiped everything out except the road that is still there for whatever reason. But yeah, they keep coming on these craters that are just beside the road as they're walking. And I'm like, if that was a nuke, then they could not be there. They would all be getting, it hadn't been long enough for the, you know, radiation and all that with, especially with no rain falling.
Oh. So a lot of the primary theorization that I was able to find on Reddit, which never go on Reddit, it's bad for you, is that it was nuclear apocalypse of some kind. But the better guess that I think maybe feels more right to me is some kind of whether it's like environmental or ecological or like a biological weapon that in some way interferes with the atmosphere at the same time. That feels the most resonant to me. That like they do something that kills a bunch of people and causes this flash in the sky or whatever, and destroys the atmosphere. The other thing that the global warming angle would support is that obviously, like, it seems like UV it's like devastating high UV all the time. That's why everyone has to wear sunglasses constantly because it's so bright.
Would a solar flare hitting Earth achieve that effect?
I'm going to confidently say yes.
As experts on this?
As a scientific
Hey,
expert.
If it can destroy this Isu civilization, it can, surely it's pretty powerful.
It's true. It's true.
But
Is that what got him?
Yeah. There's a name for it in like the Assassin's Creed lore.
Of course there is.
Yeah, that specific solar flare.
Okay.
But it's it's interesting that this apocalypse like blinded everyone, and it coincided with all the Bibles being burnt. Oh, people are blind after they lost this ancient knowledge.
Yeah, I've written down here like the religion and the mediation of the structure is very cynical to me, and I find it very frustrating. Like that's a really good example.
Yeah.
I think the idea was supposed to be that it was World War III that doomed the world in whatever way, and towards the end of World War III, everyone was like, religion caused this, let's burn all the Bibles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I think that we're
witnessing that.
Yeah, that is literally happening in real time. So,
there's a really great line when he's with Mila Kunis. I mean, it's kind of what you were saying before, David. He goes like, "People had more than they needed. We had no idea what was precious and what wasn't. We threw away things people kill each other over for now."
Mm-hmm.
That was such a good line.
Yeah, it reminded me a little bit of that's just like that's a sentence straight out of like Station 11, basically.
Yeah.
It's and this is why I love like the apocalypse and the post-apocalypse as a setting so much. Is it's that thing that that is in the back end of the road that we talked about last time, where it's like in the collapsing of everything, you might be able to see how it was all formed. Like you might get a glimpse at that. And I thought that was like very poignant. The other thing that is kind of cynical to me about some of so like I guess the plot thing that happens is Carnegie sends Solara in to essentially have sex with Eli in order to win his favor, because he Carnegie correctly estimates that this is the baddest motherfucker to ever live. What if he went out and found my book for me? And Eli straight up turns him down. He's like, "Nah, man. Like, I got a job, man. I don't need this." It's literally what he says, basically. He's like, "Nah, I'm on a path, bro. Like, I ain't got time for this." And so Carnegie's like, "Oh, I'll bribe him. I'll seduce him with Solara," which is obviously upsetting to Solara's mother. And there's this great bit of like, again, this is a fucking video game or a D&D campaign where he's like, "Nah, like, I'm not gonna sleep with you." And she's like, "Well, but like, if I go now, I'm gonna be in trouble and he's gonna hurt my mom. Like, you need to let me stay." And it's a real like, can Eli pass the wisdom check to figure out how to navigate this situation? Where he's like, "Okay, well, she's like, I'll sleep on the floor, it won't be a problem." And he just doesn't want to talk to her, which I did kind of enjoy initially. He's like not really interested in engaging. And he's like, "Don't look at the book, don't even think about the book, forget that you saw the book." I think that stuff really works for me, even if the religious aspect I find a bit frustrating. Because like he makes them say grace before they eat their like little dinner or whatever. And then Solara immediately replicates it the next day. Just negative points in intelligence. To be like it's the shortest bow for Carnegie to be like, "Oh, the guy taught you that. What's the one new factor in your life? This man you just met." Like, and he immediately puts together that probably means Eli didn't sleep with her. Like, Solara just has no guile whatsoever, and I think that's really good writing. Yeah, she is an innocent, as it were. So then,
I was all ready to.
mhm.
I was all ready to hate on that second prayer scene because it just comes so out of the blue and everything. But the way you just described it, maybe I'm okay with it now.
It's you really got to think about it as like in the kind of video game schematic that this film is occupying. It kind of like she literally is unable to think that would be a bad idea, like because she doesn't think in terms of like cunningness and cleverness and like she just hasn't ever thought of those things, and so she's like the ultimate innocent. It completely blows up his spot, you know what I mean?
I like how she ends the prayer with, and I guess that's all for now.
Yeah. It's pretty good, and he's like, amen is what you're looking for, that's how you finish it. It's great. And yeah, the plot contrivance here is that Carnegie puts it together, and he goes, oh, he must have a version of the Bible, or he knows where to find one. Like, this guy knows something. And so he tries to stop our boy from leaving. And I love the scene where he's like, he's kind of yelling at him in the street. And they go to shoot him, and he just starts to walk between bullets.
But just a second before that, though, I love how he says, he's making an argument. I mean, it's the Bible, like it's meant to be shared with everyone. Don't you want to spread the word of God to everyone? And Eli goes, yes, I want that with all my heart and soul. And I'm still looking for the place to do that. Oh. And then he starts walking off. It's so badass. It's
so cool. Ugh. And yeah, like the first gunshot goes off and he just kind of like tilts his head to avoid it. He doesn't even really move. Oh, It's so sick. And this is where I've written in my notes, JM can't stand this section because this is impossible.
Yeah, I wrote in my notes, what is this video game ass shootout? And what is happening with Redridge? Why are his bullets missing?
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe we could give a little bit of leeway because there's only one guy that I remember that actually had a rifle. Everyone else was shooting with a pistol at like Olympic range level shooting. So missing, and one of them I'm pretty sure like actually hits his backpack and it just doesn't hurt him because it hits something inside there. But point being, yeah, at that point I was like, okay, now they're really leaning into the super powered whatever. Like I thought there was like that was going to be it, and they were like, we cannot use bullets, we have to go hand to hand against him because he has like divine protection or something. So the fact that it continued into a full out shootout was very surprising to me, and even more so when you're like, okay, he's blind, how did he snipe a guy on the roof with a pistol from 100 feet away?
Mm-hmm.
He's just him.
He's just him, dude. He's just that guy.
He was doing the Jet Li, I'm one with the Force. The Force is with me.
100%, yeah. Well, I mean, this is sort of how he's written, right? He's written to be like hand of God guides me. Like, I'm just the baddest motherfucker. And I think that the Star Wars pull is a good one as well. If you think about the kind of Western setting of this town, like this is kind of a Western shootout. It's playing in that Kung Fu samurai space. It's not supposed to be taken hyper seriously, but it is kind of silly. Yeah, he gets away. They kind of like shit. Like, well, we gotta regroup and go after him. But I love the detail that and Gary Oldman's absolutely bizarre performance really drives this home. Where he's like talking about like, oh, we need that book. It's a weapon. He kind of, and one of his guys is like, yeah, but like you already killed half our dudes. Like this is a bad idea. He's like, we need that book. We gotta go get that book. And he's just completely blinded by this goal. And the bargain, Solara goes off to Denzel, and Solara's like, yo, I want to come with you. And he's like, absolutely not. not happening. Like, go home. And then she follows him a second time. He saves her. And she says to him, like, yeah, he saves her from some bandits or whatever. And she's like, listen, if I take you to the water, like, then can I come with you? And Eli pulls some like fucking Bilbo Baggins ass riddle contract law bullshit to get out of this arrangement where they're walking out of the water place and he locks the door behind him and she goes, you said if I took you to the water, then I could come with you. And he's like, no. You said that. I never said any such thing. And I was like, this is fucking Bilbo Baggins being like, well, actually, you'll find that my contract was for being a thief and not for being an event. Like, it's just that bullshit, and I love it. It's so good. It's my favorite type of like fantasy writing. It's very funny.
Why do they even go there? Just so he can refill his canteen?
Yeah. Why?
I mean, he seems to have some sort of reverence for like the water or something like that. Like, yeah.
I don't know. I feel like in another...
It may have been he was assuming that there was a door with a lock and that he would be able to get rid of her by taking her there. Because, yeah, he had the canteen filled up from the bar.
The town, yeah. Yeah, so I like that as an idea that, like, yeah, he's deliberately going there just so he can ditch her. And he knows it'll be locked because he knows that this guy has the whole thing under his control, right?
Well, he does that before he saves her from the bandits as well. So he locks her, but then he still waits around to rescue her anyway. So
it's why he ends up letting her go with him. I don't understand. Like, she proves that she's a liability, and he's like, "Yep, time to team up."
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think it's one of those, like, she's going to do it anyway, so might as well just let it happen kind of things.
I see. Okay. Yeah, I'm fine with that, I guess.
Because, like, what else could he do? Like, literally just tie her up and leave her on the road? You know?
Yes, probably. Yeah, he could have done that. He could have done that. Well, he doesn't have rope, to be fair.
Maybe it's another message from God, like how he got tasked to go out west. How he just got tasked to bring this chick along with him.
I don't love it. Yeah, it's just a little bit like logically confusing, I guess. I don't like. It's fine. I just, again, brain off, film fun. I just didn't quite grasp why he did it. Like why he takes her with him. But they end up being kind of a fun duo, right? Mila Kunis plays up like, I am 30 years old and I don't understand anything about how the world works outside of my town. And at one point she asks him like, how do you know you're going the right way? And he like quotes Johnny Cash at her, which is super fun. Like, I like that the little dynamic is fun.
Is that from your book? And he says, "Nah, it's Johnny Cash, life at Folsom Prison."
And she just goes, "What?" It's great. Her little affectations are really fun. I think she's choice casting for this type of role. So then the big plot stuff kind of like collides into this extended, final act where they come upon this like really conspicuous house in the middle of nowhere. It's got like a little garden out the back. It's got like little rocks up, pavers up to the front of the house. This is a very common trope in like Western and especially like Western fantasy. Is this idea of like the unlikely and kind of eerie, perfectly preserved house where in a place where it shouldn't be. My favorite example of this is in the final Dark Tower book, Odd Lane, where they come upon like this perfectly preserved farmhouse. And there's something weird about it. It's very common. We obviously had that in The Road as well, twice even in The Road. The first time with the cannibals and the livestock, human livestock in the basement, and the second time with the bunker. There's this old couple They seem really nice. They make the world's worst tea, which I thought was really funny. Where both Eli and Solara are both like, it's really good. And I was like, that's funny. That's funny. And yeah, Eli puts together, how does he put together that they're cannibals?
Because they're shaking, which is apparently a side effect of too much cannibalism.
Is that true? Is that
No,
a
I
thing?
don't know.
It wasn't until the dude showed them the graves out back, though.
Yeah, right. Because Eli is like, yeah, because they're telling about all the people that have passed through here, right?
Yeah.
Interesting.
This whole sequence is so comedic. Like it's probably my favorite part of the film, honestly. Like I love the tea stuff, and then they realize they're cannibals and they go, okay, we're leaving, and then the man gets the shotgun and Eli's like, no, put the shotgun down. He's like, there you go, okay, thank you for the tea, we're leaving now. And they go out, and then they see the cars coming, and then they immediately go
he's
back
like
in.
back in. Yeah.
Yeah.
It very much it's the same kind of humor as like, a John Wick style like moment where it's like, quick, do this, fuck, no wait, do that, shit. Like it's just all the options are bad. It's really fun.
I really wish that they had cut the trapdoor thing, because it didn't end up. It was not necessary, and it really kind of breaks your immersion the
trapdoor
more that
thing.
you.
Do you not remember that? When
When
they ring the doorbell?
When they
Oh, I completely blanked that from my memory. Yeah, that was fucking stupid. I'm with you. That
okay.
and I was like, well, that's dumb. But then also that feels like that's some like Last of Us bullshit is what that is. You know what I mean? That's someone like booby trapping their entire house or an entire town or whatever, right?
Well, a lot of the believability of whatever ends up being of the like set design, and that was one of like the walls were like perfectly planed, and it was like it was before the collapse is kind of what it looks like. The floor was perfectly mesh. You couldn't tell that there was a trap door there at all. Like the way that it was built just doesn't fit with the rest of the world that is falling to pieces, right?
But he's handy.
Well, they said that. Yeah, he's handy. Yeah.
But he couldn't fix all the literal holes in the house.
Yeah.
Like, where are your priorities at, man?
That's that's for airflow, man. Come on. That's, Also, what is a window if not a hole? You know what I mean? So, checkmate.
I guess he prioritized his hunting. So,
You know what it
That
reminded
was
me
their-
of? This feels like the reverse of where they get captured by the Ewoks in the big net. This is like the inverse of that. You know?
How's it the inverse?
Because it's literally
because
in
they went down instead of
yeah,
up.
Okay.
it's literally the inverse, boys.
You've been hanging around me too long. You went really literal.
Yeah. But yes, so the gunfight starts pretty cool, where it's like they're just like, Eli tosses a grenade out, and it's really fun. And then they have like this truck pull up, and they've got one of those hand cranked miniguns. Again, this is just Red Dead Redemption. And then there's a moment where a guy pulls out a bazooka.
the opening sequence with the Pinkertons.
With the Pinkertons.
Is that what you're referencing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, and multiple times in that first game, you're just doing a turret sequence on like the back of a train or whatever. It's very fun. But yeah, and then he pulls out a bazooka and it becomes a weird cartoon for a second because they somehow survive the bazooka shot. It's very weird.
It's so funny, man. You got guns? Hell yeah, I got guns. And he opens his couch and it's just a bunch of fucking guns.
Bunch of guns.
And then his Martha dies like, you bastards. Something about that delivery was so funny.
Yeah.
Oh, it's such a good scene.
It really is. And of course they're gonna die. Like, they're cannibals. They're not allowed to survive this.
It's also really funny that the bad guy is, boss bad guy is yelling, "Get the book, we have to get the book." Second in command bad guy is like, "Okay, I'll get you the book. I'm gonna blow it up."
I know.
So he shoots a rocket into the house.
Gary Oldman does immediately like shove him out of the way after that happens, to be fair. But it is also funny that like his guys are morons. I love it when they capture them and he's like, "Where's the book?" Eli's like, "It's in the back of the TV," and the guy goes,
Yeah.
"Back of a what?" And Gary Oldman's like, "Oh, "You go get it then." It's so good. Like, just little details where they thought about the writing of like these characters in this world. Super fun. And then Carnegie.
See, he is another reason that I had a problem with the way age was depicted, because he was also old enough to be from the before time, but he is the one who questions why they need the Bible. Which is, so it's like he totally missed how impactful religion is in the before time.
Yeah.
Like he should not have been that old. He should have been cast as one of the people born into this world.
Well, I guess we don't know how old he's supposed to be, right? Like, he might
He
have
knows
just...
what a TV is.
He might have just learned that. You know what I mean? Like, there's varying degrees of, like, education and intelligence. But no, it is inconsistent. I do agree with you. It didn't bother me, I guess, for him. Yeah, and so Carnegie takes the book, and then the son of a bitch shoots Eli anyway. Absolute dog move.
I mean, after witnessing how he's got like fucking divine protection, he doesn't like seem to do a very thorough job of finishing him off though. Which, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, just lazy. I think he's so consumed by the book at this point that he's just like not even thinking properly.
I also fucking love the super stylized, like, shoot him, replay it from different angles. In one of the angles, you see a lightning strike as he shoots him.
It's so good. Yeah. And like, yeah, you get it like multiple times, and then finally he just like foops over. It's great.
Yeah.
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 And Solara just like losing it as he dies, or gets shot rather. And I've written down here, Solara becomes Furiosa for a second, where they take her back. And she waits for the opportune moment, strangles the driver, crashes the car, comes out, and then like does a like rolls a grenade in the sickest shot that this film has done so far, where she just like underarms it, and you watch the grenade sort of like roll into this car, and then it just goes poof, and like flies towards her and you get the side on view of it. It's so cool looking.
It looks practical too. Yeah.
Do you think they saw that Nolan watched this and went, "I can one up that. What if I flip a really big truck?"
Well, that was before this, surely.
Dark Knight
2008.
Yeah, you're right.
2010.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
You caught him.
All right. I mean, listen, I don't
Put it on the scoreboard.
I don't claim to have any special expertise about Nolan, so I'll take that L happily. That's not a hill I'm willing to die on. That's really fun. Yeah, the use of slow-mo in this film, I think, is like brilliant. The sound design that they implement with the slow-mo really sells the action in a way that is the thing that will end up making John Wick like the thing it is, really, right? Like it just finds the sweet spot of like, you hear the little like ding 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 as the grenade rolls, and then the boom, like the huge hit of the explosion really sells the violence of it. Yeah, and then they keep...
Sorry, just on grenades for a second as well. I love earlier in the shootout, they throw a grenade, and there's not a fiery explosion. It's like a shockwave explosion. And it explodes, and you see the guy just go ah. He just like flies back, hits the truck. That was a good grenade.
It was a good, and you expect it to like take out a bunch of guys, and it just takes out one guy.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah, it's very. There's a lot of thinking that's gone into the choreography of like how do we sell impacts of moments, to really pull you out of the noise of a fight to make something stick, right? Because there's a lot of shooting and guns and stuff, and they're very good at finding those moments to focus on.
Yeah, which again is what John Wick like specializes in.
Yes,
these very specific, like clear moments of action. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they get away. Gary Oldman lets them go. He's like, nah, it's not worth the trouble. Or specifically his like 2IC is like, yo, we barely got enough fuel to get back as it is now. Like, should we go after them? He's like, no, don't worry about it. We'll figure it out later. Or we'll get him tomorrow or something. Like, he's like, we'll come back. And then we're just in Mad Max for a minute.
They're assuming Eli is dead, though. It's just her that they're.
Oh, good point. Right. Well, and that's right, because the driver he wants her as like a prize, right?
No, he's dead.
Yeah, Redridge dies when the car flips, and he's got Eli's machete is at him.
That's right, because he puts it on the dashboard, and they make sure to show us that really carefully.
Yeah. And I don't know, like he has this moment, like his time to shine, where he's like, I don't know. I guess he like sacrifices himself sort of by getting out of the car for her. Maybe I'm not sure what's going on there, but like it's like they make it a point that like he cares for her. Yeah, I don't know what was going on there.
I thought that was odd too, that he had, he was depicted as being like the villain that just wants the pretty girl as a prize, and then every other villain would have killed her at that point, but he did the opposite. He got out and he let her go. So that was an interesting choice. Also, when Eli was shot, I think there was a lot of crucifixion symbolism being played there with the because the shot wasn't to the head and it wasn't to the chest, it was into his side, which probably is, you could say, is symbolic of the spear that they used to pierce Jesus' side. And in a lot of the like movies that you'll see of that, you'll also see like lightning storms and stuff like that, like right at the moment of death. So that happening here as well, I was like, yeah, all of that makes total sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. And if you think about the all the inspiration that the Bible's drawing on from like, Norse mythology and stuff like that, it's very clearly like it's very clearly familiar imagery to like a lot of the source material that book ends up taking from, right? Yeah, I did also note that. Yeah, because that's how Odin gets initially killed as well, and there's a lightning strike when he dies, and the spear to the side as well. But yeah, the
which film was that?
Which film was that? That's not a film. That's Norse mythology, brother. That's the film of history.
It's Beowulf, 2007.
God, I haven't thought about Beowulf in forever. You blew the dust off the back of my head with that one. Jesus, what a nightmare to look at that film is. It's just a real-time horror film of just look at what animation shouldn't do.
I've seen that once when I was a kid. It's been on my mind like last year. I really want to rewatch it.
I feel like that like fully scarred me as a kid.
Well, I just remember it had like a naked Angelina Jolie. Mate, let me tell you, as like a 12-year-old kid, that was like, say no more.
This is the type of kids that we were. That for me, it was Starship Troopers.
Like, that's a great movie too.
Damn. If we ever do, when we do like a sci-fi unit, we're definitely
a Paul Verhoeven. Oh, okay.
Ooh, okay. We we got options. That'd be really fun because that film rules. and has aged so tremendously well. It's crazy. Yeah, the complete selling of everything in that film by every single actor is brilliant. There's something else I want to point out with the thing Jan was articulating, which is that the moment of him getting shot and him like falling over or whatever, it's interesting to me that this happens in the first place, B, that they don't ham up the like 3 days and 3 nights thing. He's just walking, he's back, and that when she she drives up next to him and she's like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "I'm going west." And so she puts him in the car, and then they start driving, and we get the kind of, and again to the coast, which is exactly what happens in The Road. I don't know, man. This is just same brain, or we're just stealing it. It's hard to tell which. Lifting inspiration, as we say in the industry. And yeah, they get to, essentially, like they get halfway across the bridge, and they realize they're gonna have to go to Alcatraz. I don't know how he knows it's Alcatraz.
Yeah, why go to Alcatraz?
I don't know.
Of all places.
They get to like the San Francisco bridge, and he's like, "Yeah, it's gonna be Alcatraz." It's like, why? What? Maybe they
know they have a printing press there.
He's guided by God.
I was gonna say, remember he can't see. He's literally just sensing which direction he's supposed to go.
Mm-hmm.
He's sniffing the air.
He does at one point go, "Do you smell that? Salt in the air." And I was like,
yeah.
I was like, "Oh my God, that happens in The Road as well." Because the boy doesn't know what the smell is. It's great.
Yeah.
And yeah, so the cosmic irony of this ending basically is, so Eli has memorized the Bible, and the reveal that he's blind is co-located with the fact that his Bible is in Braille. And the double irony is that Carnegie's captured person / partner, she's blind and she can read Braille, and he's like, "You got to read it for me. You got to read me the book." And she's like, pretends that she's forgotten how to read, because she touches the pages and realizes what the book is. And then she bluffs him and goes, I've forgotten. It's been too long." I was like, yo, that's great. And yeah, it is this ending.
I was fighting with that moment because I loved how her face lit up with just pure joy of reading a book again.
Mm-hmm.
But then there was no way to hide that from him, so he knew. So part of me was like, I kind of wish they had played that where she makes no emotional response, so then you don't know if she's telling the truth or lying. Yeah.
I do think that this ending becomes just a little bit silly as it keeps going on. And like moments like that where it's like,
a little bit.
Well,
mate, I feel like anyone with like, if you can read, you can decipher Braille. Surely that's not that hard to do.
It feels like a solvable problem. I guess you would need a reference of some. But
yeah, like the headings, verse 1, verse 2. Like I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of ways you could. There's a lot of ways I would have done it.
Patrick's doing the David thing of like, I would simply solve the problem. This would simply not impede me, actually. I would simply be better.
I love me some puzzles.
You do see, I can't do puzzles to save my life. Like I told you that, like I tried to play that Indiana Jones game and I was like, I cannot do this. I'm incapable of solving these puzzles. I gotta watch my boys play it.
That game has some ridiculous fucking puzzles, I'll tell you what.
It does. The ones where you have to solve, like, you turn the guy sideways to solve the battles. Crazy to me. Incomprehensible to me.
Sorry. Okay. I was thinking this like the entire time, and you're going to have to find an image and put it up here, because do you know how big an actual Grail Bible would be?
Gonna find it. Is it real big?
What's a Grail Bible?
Braille.
Oh, sorry, Braille.
Yeah. So like when you were talking about how you would interpret it, like it could be like multiple dots and dashes just for like the letter A. So like one word might take up like multiple lines. So like a volume of the Bible is like 30 to 40 volumes of book.
What?
Weighing 70 to 90 pounds for like the full Bible,
Wow.
according to this very quick Google search. And I had that thought when they were writing it up at the end, and I was like, okay, so that's handwriting, so that'd be a lot bigger than when they type it, so it makes sense there's that much paper.
Mhm.
But then I was like, oh wait, like if it's actually in Braille, that Bible, it's way too thin. He couldn't carry the entire Braille Bible.
That's so funny.
Like it'd be the first, it'd be like Genesis, and that's it.
Well, maybe it's just the one that, you know, version he has that's like the start or the end or whatever, and then he's got the rest memorized. You know? That is a funnier image for him to like be, you know, there's a real missed opportunity for him to be like rolling a big wagon behind him or something the whole time. I don't know, yeah. That is I'm glad that films have poetic license, because that would be so silly of a problem to solve. You know what I mean? Like, how do we convincingly have Denzel take these 30 massive books across the country?
Actually, there's an even easier solve to it. The entire time he is listening to something, so he's got the Bible on audiobook.
That could work. I do also like that he just likes music. I think that's just like a really fun character detail. It does seem wholly irresponsible being a blind guy to not have your sound available at all times, given it's an apocalypse, but you know, he's guided by God, so whatever. And yeah, so he recites the entirety of the Bible, and it's very they also do that they shave his head and his beard, and he's in like a white robe. Fuck me, I hate that shit. It's too much. It's too much. It's too much. I get it. He's a disciple of God, but like, come on, man. That was the point where I started. I was like, yeah, it's kind of gross and weird now. Like, they crossed some threshold with that for me. But yeah, he recites the whole Bible. And they print a beautiful version of it with like these, you know, this red edged paper. Where they getting that paper from? Where they getting them trees from?
I guess Alcatraz was well stocked.
Well, you do see as they approach the coast, you start seeing trees again. So there's life in this part of the world.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I'm defending their paper. I'm just saying.
So the guy is like what, trying to restore all of the worlds and stuff like that. Is that right? Like all the books and things.
Rebuild
museum of civilization.
Like rebuild humanity. Yeah.
Oh, true.
Wow.
Yeah,
it's literally that. Yeah,
it really is.
That's crazy.
Now,
except, you know, an actual like useful museum that's not like Game Boys and shit.
I don't think that of anyone you're allowed to yuck someone's yum for collecting Game Boys, Pat. You're looking at a little Game Boy right now, aren't you?
yeah. I'm streaming this from a modern Game Boy. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. But no, it is funny for him to be like, yeah, maybe the world's collective knowledge is more important than an iPhone. You know. But yeah. All of this goofiness and all the weird, like, gross religious stuff, that is all completely excused by how fucking cool the ending of this film is. So Solara, and this
You mean him pulling a Padme and just dying?
Just dying for no reason. It was of a broken heart. So it was of a broken heart. Is why she died. So I've never understood that line, because it's pretty obvious that she's dying because her husband choked her with the Force. You know what I mean? I don't know. It doesn't feel like she dies of a broken heart.
Nah. Yeah, but she talks just fine, so it ain't the throat thing.
Oh, that's a really good point. I've never put that together. Wow. Wow. Huh.
Well, much to learn you still have.
Maybe she got the little like midwife droid to you know, to inject her right after she gave birth.
Yeah, just like cortical steroids or adrenaline or something.
Yeah. No, like cyanide or something, like to kill her. I mean,
You think she took herself out?
wow, is that not the same as losing the will to live?
I have heard a lot of theories. That's the very first one where she bribed the droid to offer.
That's a lot.
I feel like that's a fitting euphemism. Lose. She lost the will to live.
I listen. I don't disagree. I'm just still stuck on the fact that she talks, and I always assume that she died from being choked to death. What's going on there, George? We know you're listening. Right into the show. Tell her what's going on there, George. George is like, yeah, I didn't really think about it. You know what I mean?
Well, remember, he like literally doesn't care about the dialogue, so watch it with the sound off, and everything makes sense.
Boys, you're ever thinking it? It's a silent movie. I've been working on my George. It's getting there slowly. So the idea of this film is basically, I've written down on my notes here, Pat. This is just Death Stranding 2. She takes up all of his shit, and she's the protagonist now. And she looks cool as hell. She puts in the little product one last opportunity for some product placement with the Beats headphones, and then she's off home, you know?
Yeah. It's fitting. It's Mila Kunis too. She, you know, well known for starring in shitty sequels.
I hadn't thought about that, but that is very funny.
Yeah.
God, yeah, because they did that second Sarah Marshall film, didn't they?
And the American Psycho 2.
American Psycho 2. God, I forgot they did that. Is she she's the protagonist?
Yeah, she's the main character, yeah.
Man, we gotta do like a fucked sequels unit at some point. I think it'd be really fun. Man, I completely forgot about that. Yeah, okay.
So did that ending not hurt y'all? Because
what do you mean? A rule of cool for me on that one, unfortunately.
Well, I mean, yeah, like I was like, yes, this looks epic, and I very much enjoy the heroine going out and doing the awesome stuff kind of story, but she wasn't trained to do anything, so she's walking with the bravado that she doesn't have. Like the second that she comes up against anyone out there in the wilderness, she can't fight. Like it's like she is the new chosen one who now has the divine gift of Eli, except it died with him because all he had to do was deliver the thing. So, like, the ending only works if this divinity is passed to her, but it wasn't. So, I don't know. Remove the rule of cool, and like the ending, I just it broke so much of the movie having happy memories for me.
Well, what if, I don't know, what if the machete is what has the power, you know? What if it's like he grabs the machete, she's like, all this knowledge goes into it.
I mean, it's cool enough that I'd buy that. You know, magic machete. Well, also she can use a gun and stuff. Like, she's not completely useless. She gets jumped by those two guys. Like, she doesn't really have a chance.
Name another part of the movie. Name another scene where she's helpful.
She
What? She chokes that guy. What do you mean?
She chokes that guy. She rolls that grenade. She drives that car. You know? It's not a lot.
You gotta start somewhere. You gotta start somewhere.
It's true.
And all of that stuff is also after his like supposed death. So you could also argue that like at that point his part of his divinity is passed to her, and that's when she starts doing awesome stuff.
I think she's just real inspired. You know what I mean? She's like,
she got the right attitude.
Yeah.
She got the spirit.
This whole thing is like a don't piss off women, or this is what happens kind of story.
Yeah, it's a meme from like 2009 being like happy wife, happy life, and it's like, you know, it's like Angelina Jolie like kicking a guy's head in or whatever. You know. It was back
That's
when
something I wish that they had. I wish they had wrapped up with her mom actually, because she didn't, to me, have like a really satisfying end. Even though like the bad guy still gets it, but she didn't. I don't know if she didn't earn anything. I don't know if that's the right way to say it, but I almost wish she would have like been the one to shoot him or something like that.
I have that same note. I was like, I really wish that we got some closure for the mother character. Like, she should have got Gary Oldman. Yeah, but
or she just takes over because she can read the book. She has the words. She is now the voice of, right?
Yeah,
and she's blind. There's all of this. There's all of this symbolism there that she could have led the world using the same scripture, but done it in a good way versus how he wanted to use it.
Mm-hmm. It's the real it's that really doofy like early 2000s imaginary of like the best true leaders are the ones who don't want to lead. You know, it's like that kind of like technocrat like resolution. I could see them doing that if this film was made a couple years later. I definitely think that would have been the ending. I do like that it doesn't. I would have liked that closure, yes. But I do like that this leaves us free to imagine what we think all goes on next. Like, the platonic ideal here is that Solara goes back, she aces Gary Oldman, frees the town, and then her and her mom like rebuild the town in like God's image or whatever, or something like that, you know.
Mm-hmm. And the two I see is that dude with the shotgun at the end who just sits down in the middle of the bar.
Yeah, what? Oh, that's the thing we didn't say is that, yeah, Gary Oldman's losing control of the town because he basically sent all of his goons to take down Eli, and Eli's him, so that didn't work. And yeah, there's like a riot, and this guy, what is his deal? He sits down and he starts loading the shotgun, and
yeah.
And it's like, are we supposed to understand what this means?
Yeah, I was like, is he gonna like shoot himself? Is he gonna shoot someone else? Like, what's he doing?
Yeah.
Like,
I had assumed he was about to shoot himself, but then they didn't show anything. So
very strange choice. Pregnant with meaning, but also question mark was my feeling. I didn't understand that one. But the piece that I do really like of that choreography of like as the bar is collapsing or whatever is because of the setup of the bar. So Gary Oldman's office is like at the top of this kind of like Western style saloon. The bar's down the bottom. And so he hears everything before he sees it throughout the film when he's in his like little office with his desk. And I really like that that quality that finalizes here, where he hears that everything is going to go wrong before it goes wrong. He doesn't see it, which is like that nice symmetry with Eli being blind.
Well, he's told that it's happening first, but you're right that he doesn't hear anything. She tells him when she's talking to him, and it also goes back to smell, which I don't know if that's a theme or not, but she's like, "You're dying. I can smell your leg."
I thought that was odd. To be fair, that was a weird detail to throw in there. Yeah, not sure what to make of that. Kind of goofy. I think maybe just the line needed to be reworked a bit. It was just a very goofy delivery and a very goofy, like, particular sentence, I think. You know?
I also keep thinking, like, one of the main points that they make is that this guy threw away everything so that even if he had a fully functioning Bible, he no longer had the manpower to rule the town.
Mm-hmm.
But he's educated enough, apparently. They play it off like he's very educated and he's always reading something, and he never tries to write his own Bible. I keep coming back to that. Like, he talks like he knows what the words are, and he understands how they could be powerful, which means he should be able to write something similar, but he never tries to. He could take any book and say, "This is the Bible." But it's like only the words, only the truth, only the actual words are what will sway people. So there's something like really, really sincere about how they're pitching it.
I got the impression that he's a fraud. He's lying because Denzel says, he's like, "Do you read?" And Denzel says, "Every day." And then Gary Oldman's like, "Oh, yeah, so do I." And he says it like that. And yeah.
Yeah, he feels like a character who like sits there and holds a book as a prop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's like he's sitting on a beach holding a book just so someone can take like a photo for his Instagram or whatever. He's not actually ever going to read that fucking book. The enemy is what we call those people. They are
hostile.
What? You take a little picture of me reading a book for the gram. Shut up. Grow up, you baby. I'm gonna do a little film for my reel. Shut up.
I mean, I agree
okay,
with it.
so we need to start opening these with going, okay, show me your hands. Okay, they're not shaking. You've been reading your books.
You've been reading your books. You've been doing good. Yeah, I become overtly hostile about people not reading because I try to be polite about it. When people people are like, oh, what are you watching at the moment? And I'm like, nothing. I'm reading. I haven't watched anything in ages. I just become really hostile in those conversations now where they're like, what are you watching? I'm like, grow up. It was very funny. We did we're at a paint and sip last night, which is my absolute worst nightmare, right? It's like a contained social environment with strangers. Couldn't be me. The sipping helps.
But it's got alcohol.
But it's got alcohol,
Yeah.
so yeah. I was drinking Italian beer. It was very luxurious. I'll show you guys. Hang on, a little show and tell.
He brought the beer.
Huh?
You painted a pizza?
Yeah.
Yeah. What am I looking at? Like,
I painted a pepperoni pizza.
on what?
It's a little canvas, little circle of canvas.
Oh, just a little circle. Okay, that's pretty good. Well done.
Huh?
I am angry at you.
Very good.
I want. It looks like you just pulled a pizza out. Like now I want pizza.
I'm just so hungry. We gotta wrap up so I can eat. Yeah. There is one other thing I did want to say about the. Also, if you're in the greater Brisbane area, Sips and Sass is the name of that company. I will give them a free ride because it wasn't absolute torture like those things usually are. So, shout out to Christine. Yeah, it was a good time. It was a fine time, which for me is like good in those types of social situations. There is two things that I thought were interesting about the framing of what ends up happening to Gary Oldman's town, which is we don't really get the impression the film isn't interested in this, right? I want to make that clear, but I don't get the impression that this town is like an exception. It seems to be that like that based on all the context clues that we have, Eli has gone through many, many such settlements throughout the last 30 years. Like this isn't like an isolated place. And it reminded me that like I was like, and to Pat's point about the Mila Kunis thing, I was so sure in the back of my head, and this is not true, but I had made up the fact in the back of my head that they had done a Mila Kunis starred sequel to this film, and I had absolutely confused it with American Psycho 2. And Donnie Darko 2. Like, I just fully transposed all of that.
Yeah.
That second Donnie Darko is not as bad as everyone remembers, by the way. It's kind of fine. But yeah, I like the idea that this is like a broader world than we have access to. And I, for one, just want to go back and watch Mad Max now. So that was kind of the output of this for me in a real way.
Yeah, literally halfway through the film, I'd said to Beck, like, we need to watch all the Mad Max films. I've only seen the first two.
Oh, man. We were going to do those we might do those for the Patreon at some point. We were going to do them on the main line, but we're just running out of runway before our next unit. So we'll see how we go. We might do them.
I don't know how much it matters, but I also have only seen the first one and maybe the second one.
Second one's really good. First one I think is aged very strangely, just visually. It looks really weird on like 4K and stuff. Yeah, they've done lots of weird
first-
digital upscaling.
The first one is just Australia right now in a fuel crisis. That's just the first one.
Which is just now.
Yeah.
I was literally like, I guess I'm not driving my car anymore. That's good. But hey, public transport's permanently 50 cents now, so problem solved. What was I gonna say? I am genuinely interested in more of this world. And then I was like, oh, no. I just really want to watch Mad Max. And also, it's just the road. Like, all these ideas are great because they come from great material, not necessarily because this thing is great, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so I think it's a fun film. The ending is very doofy. But yeah, I think it's a good example of like, if you look at the core and the essence of what the road is in comparison to this, I think it's a very useful exercise in understanding how you can take a bunch of ideas and kind of transpose their genre just slightly and produce a completely different experience as a reader. I find that a quite instructive and interesting thing to experience, you know, and to think about, right? Like, it's a popcorn film. It's a fun, it's action. It's not supposed to be all that. In contrast to the road, which is all of that, you know what I mean? It's doing the most.
Yeah, I feel like this is so entertaining just within the context of those other inspirations. But like, if you were only exposed to this and watch these kind of movies, like, I feel like I would go insane. Like, there's just such a confounding of like actual truth and ideas in films like these. Like, and yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's like sort of the brain rot of movies in a way.
Yeah. Big time. Yeah. Cool. Any final thoughts?
I think it would be funny if like he just got the Bible wrong in some parts.
Yeah,
like,
I thought that too.
You know, I understand that that's like what the Bible has always been. Like, you know, the King James Bible is like what, like only 500 years old, that version. You know, it's been changed all the time, but like, yeah. It's funny how like from here on the whole world relies on this, like just this dude committing the Bible to memory.
Well, I like to think that he does an Augustine and he like rearranges it all to make it more consistent and coherent and like, you know, like infuses it with his own ideology and correct way to read it. Like, you know, Denzel's a brother. He might edit out some of the slavery stuff and the racism potentially. You know, sanitize it a little bit.
I'm just picturing as he's dying and he's like getting incoherent and like revelations, that the last book of the Bible, and like chapter 57, and it's like, and lo, Mila Kunis came out and led the army.
Yeah.
That's very good.
He's just confusing it with like other like movies and stuff he's watched. Like,
yeah, he's like, I've memorized the Bible. Have you? I'm reading this, and this is different than I remember.
And Bilbo descended from the clouds.
Yeah,
yeah, and then Jesus had the maddest quick draw in the West, and
it was really sick.
He shot the other guy.
Yeah, yeah, the religious stuff in this I find we've already said like kind of gross and weird, but in retrospect, it demonstrates a kind of maturity that McCarthy had in his writing of that stuff, where he was very careful to, and he does this throughout the whole book with basically everything, but he's very careful not to show his hand too much with how that book teaches you to view the religious stuff. Like, it never really lands. We talk about it a lot, but it never really lands on like, he really believes this fundamentally, or no, this is a coping mechanism. And you're never quite sure how much of it he's getting right and how much of it he's getting wrong. In comparison to this, which is like so overt that it almost becomes meaningless, you know? Especially that ending shot of Eli just like lying there in a white robe. It's like, well, you kind of said nothing then, didn't you? Yeah. Instructive, I would say. Cool. Jam, any closing thoughts? Final things?
I had the same thought about the stand that we were talking about, there's a relatively new show that
That's
we
so
have been
bad.
watching, and like this one could have focused on either like post-apocalypse or religious warrior, but it's split the difference. And just like that one could have focused on like virus and post-apocalypse, or it could have focused on religious stuff. And because these stories are splitting their focus, it ends up feeling really unfocused to me. So I wish that they had just leaned into it from the very beginning, like maybe even just make him be a blind guy. Don't make it a twist, just have it be from the very beginning, and he literally just doesn't try to dodge bullets because he's divinely protected. Like they could have leaned into it and it would have been interesting in a different way, and I think it would have opened up a lot more opportunities for different things. So yes, it was very entertaining. But I don't know that I'm driven to watch it again. Like I would only watch it for the action scenes, and you have ruined me to the point where I'm not going to watch a movie just for the action anymore.
Yeah. You're welcome. You know, it's funny you mentioned the religious thing because Pat, like in that context, because Pat brought up the guy in Rogue One who does that as well, and same writer. Gary Whitta wrote the original story for Rogue One, and he wrote this screenplay. So maybe he learned something.
Good stuff.
Yeah. Small world. He also wrote most of those Walking Dead Telltale games, which is really weird.
Oh, okay. That checks out.
Yeah. Just a guy who really likes the apocalypse, I guess. Yeah. And then unfortunately for Gary Whitta, he also wrote on Forspoken, so that's tough. That's a tough
Ooh.
one. To be fair, he was the lore creator. He didn't write any of the dialogue, but that's still a tough credit to have to your name, isn't it? It's unfortunate. What are we doing next time? Next time we are starting. I've got it right here. Neville shoots on the beach. Hold on. It's under my other.
Are we still doing The Road, or is that an exclusive?
The Road is an exclusive for Patreon, which you can find at. Damn it, you're getting ahead of my read, Darth. Bastard. If you'd like to support us, you can head to patreon.com/SeriaIndent. Supporting us at the $5 tier unlocks the bonus episodes of this show, where we watch and talk about supplementary materials. The next thing going up on that feed will be us talking about and reviewing The Road film adaptation. Spoiler for my thoughts on that film, I fucking hate it. Surprised me. So it'll be a fun one. Actually, no, let me say it this way. I love it and hate it in equal measure, and I cannot explain it. It's going to be a fun one to talk about. Go check that out. We're also putting the video versions of those up on the YouTube channel via YouTube memberships if you prefer to watch us talk about these things. I know some people prefer that. And if you are a free Patreon subscriber, you can gain access to the Zero Indent Patreon chat, where you can send us questions and ideas for future episodes directly. Any support you give us helps us keep making thoughtful, independent media criticism an important practice to preserve in an age where context is defined by algorithms. We appreciate all of our Patreon subscribers who help us continue to make the shows and articles that shape Zero Indent. Now, next week, next episode on this feed, we are talking about Neville Shoots on the Beach. We are reading through chapters 1 through to the end of chapter 4. So it's up to page 110 in this vintage shoot version. This book is old enough that if you want to, you can just grab an EPUB for free online. It's basically out of copyright, so a very quick Google will get you a copy. To sell you on reading this book before the episode, it has, where the road is very challenging, shall we say. This book on the beach is a much breezier read from a prose perspective, and it's driven largely by dialogue. So I think if you enjoyed us talking about the road, but you struggled with the book itself, definitely give this one a crack. Spoiler warnings, it is sad though, so you do have to kind of like mentally prepare yourself for an upsetting book.
As if the road wasn't sad.
I know. Do you guys know anything about On the Beach?
No.
Okay, good.
Is Neville
a-
Shoot?
Yeah.
Is that the author?
I have a really
Yeah.
good guess at the setting.
It's set in Australia.
Yeah.
It's set in Sydney.
We have beaches in Australia.
Yes. But it's very good. I highly recommend it. So yeah, reading chapters 1 through to the end of chapter 4. Page 110 in the vintage version. That's it. It's just the end of the show. It's not the end of the world. Zero Indent is an independent publication dedicated to studying works of genre fiction, brought to you by our subscribers. Head to patreon.com/zeroindent to learn more and consider supporting us. Our theme song is The Swan by Alon Peretz. Our podcast cover art is by Crystal Hatay. Everything else is written, directed, and edited by me, DC McNeil. You can find our merch and books at underink.press and everything we do at zeroindent.com. Got it right that time.
Nice.
I love the expression on your face, Pat, when you were just trying to figure out what the fuck was happening with the pizza. There's a lot of gears turning.
Well, yeah, I didn't know what. I don't know. I was not expecting like a painted pizza on a circular canvas. That was
Yeah.
that was out of left field.
Yeah.
That got me too.
Well, I was not expecting to paint a pizza, to be fair. It made sense, though, because it's an Italian wine place, so made sense in hindsight.
Okay.